Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. Not much DC updates for you today, but I got a few kind of cool things that happened today. A lot of genre, etc. stuff and trailer reactions, though, so please be sure to check out my other videos on that. All right, well, let's get into the DC topics. And in this case, starting off with a WarnerMedia topic. WarnerMedia Upfront, May 19th, 2021. Apparently promises to be kind of interesting in where WarnerMedia is showcasing a lot of their future content, and that could include a DC stuff. Are we going to get stuff for the Batman, the Suicide Squad, Black Adam, and what have you? Are we going to get any of that stuff? I don't know. But it is certainly a date that could be exciting for DC fans, or, you know, even the other content that's coming out, like Matrix 4. Let's take a look at that. I want to see what Matrix 4 is going to be like, and other things like, are we going to have Lovecraft Country Season 2, and all these other things that WarnerMedia is putting up front, if you will, on May 19th, 2021. So that could potentially be exciting. All right, well, getting into DC, there are just a few more pictures for the Suicide Squad. Here you have Idris Elba and James Gunn. Of course, he plays Bloodshot here. A few more of Idris Elba and Ratcatcher 2, and Peacemaker, and I forgot his name, but this is basically the team here. She looks like she has like a pet rat on her shoulder as well, so people are pointing that out, but that's pretty much it. So it's just a few more nuggets for the Suicide Squad as we get closer to its release in August. All right, now let's get to the meaty one, and this is about a potential black Superman, and this is really interesting. So Superman Michael B. Jordan comments on rumors he's in talks to play the new Man of Steel. As you know, earlier this year, news broke that Warner Bros. Was in the process of developing a new Superman movie with J.J. Abrams on board as producer via his Bad Robot label, and acclaimed Black Panther comic writer Ta-Nehisi Coates on board to pen the script. It later emerged that Henry Cavill was not expected to reprise the role, and that the project is being set up as a Black Superman story. It was also confirmed that Black Panther star Michael B. Jordan was indeed interested in developing his own take on Supes back in 2019, and it was still possible that the studio could return to him to star down the line. This led to the inevitable rumors that Jordan was actively in talks to play Superman, and the actor was asked if there was any truth to the reports during an interview with Jake's Takes. And he said this: "I appreciate people that think about me in that type of way for these roles. I don't really have anything more to kind of give on that, other than it's just flattering, and I appreciate it." So far from confirmation, but it did sound like he was choosing his words carefully. Actors tend to be happy to shoot down rumors when there's zero truth to them, so it might be telling that Jordan didn't offer an outright denial there. However they get, or if it goes that way, I think it will be an interesting thing to see, Jordan added, addressing the possibility of a black actor suiting up as the Man of Steel. He also went on to further say, "I don't know what is really going on with Black Superman in particular, but everybody's want and desire to see black leads and heroic roles is really important. Representation is important. There's so many opportunities with different IP, different properties, different characters that never got the light of day. And there are certain ones that should just be where they are. So let's just see how things shake out." And I really like his comment here. In a kind of way, just like how he was talking about with Oprah about Black Superman, he doesn't necessarily say that he wants to be Clark Kent. There is a Clark Kent already out there. He wants to have different characters that never got the light of day, like Calvin Ellis, or Val Zod. I think it's more Calvin Ellis right now, I'm thinking. But there are those characters that never got to see the light of day, and they could already fulfill with having black leads in them. And him, honestly, I would love to see Michael B. Jordan as Superman, but I can't help but think that after speaking to Wayne T. Carr over on Real Anarchy and talking about how he, to me, is Jon Stewart, because, honestly, I have not seen him in anything else, and that's not a negative on his side. It's just that he's able to capture that role, right? He's able to encapsulate and be Jon Stewart. So the next time for a younger generation or even our generation, we get to see him that we're like, that's Jon Stewart. We see him in another movie, it's like, hey, that's the guy who played Jon Stewart. You know, it's something special about being that first actor and their biggest role to be a superhero lead. I know some actors don't like that because then you're kind of typecasted, but there's something special about that, because in the other way around, imagine if Denzel Washington did become Green Lantern. I can't help but think that when you walk into movie theaters, you're like, that's Denzel Washington in a green suit. You know, I wanted to be like, that's Jon Stewart. That's Green Lantern. Same thing with this. I think if Michael B. Jordan, because he's such a big, we've seen him as Creed. He's in a Marvel movie as well. I can't help but think when I walk into movie theaters and I see him as Superman, I'm like, that's Michael B. Jordan. You know, maybe we should get something else. How about the guy from Lovecraft Country, right? Jonathan Majors. He could be a black Superman. So that would be really cool as well. Or was it Reggae, who was supposed to be in Krypton, but now he wasn't, and I think he's from Bridgerton. He looks like he could be a black Superman as well. So I think there are opportunities for these younger actors, for these other actors that never got that big break, to come in and become Superman. And then when we watch them, we're like, we don't name him out. I've seen Lovecraft Country, so I might say, hey, that's the guy from Lovecraft Country. But for most people, for the most part, the main audience, the mainstream, they'll be like, that's Superman. That's Calvin Ellis. That's Superman. So I think it'd be pretty special to get someone who is not in the big spotlight and so on and so forth to be Superman. And, you know, at the time in 2019, when Michael B. Jordan wanted to be Superman, that was through his own production company anyway. So this is J.J. Abrams. I'm thinking J.J. Abrams, or whoever's going to direct this, will probably want a fresh take, a new person, someone that you haven't really seen much of before to become this new Superman. So I think that's how it's going to go down for that. Anyway, so this one I want to talk about just a little bit. So this person here, Scott Porch, he says, here's an info nugget. HBO Max's 3 biggest opening weekend movies to date are Wonder Woman 1984, Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat movie, sorry release the Snyder Cut bros, and then he gave that article. I'm not going to read that article at all. Basically, there was like some WarnerMedia, he said he spoke to a WarnerMedia exec, and that the WarnerMedia exec said that's the biggest movies they had for HBO Max was those 3 as well. And according to Samba TV, that is truly the case, because, you know, release of Snyder Cut was under that. And I know people are getting triggered over this, and I see why, because this guy has literally crapped on Zack Snyder's Justice League like many times before even writing this article. He is not a fan. And like Ben Fritz, like Scott Mendelson, they are not fans, you know? Actually, I don't even know if Ben Fritz is a fan or not, but he did have that article for Wall Street Journal. But Scott Mendelson is definitely not a fan. So this is like another Scott. How's that? You know, I only know one great Scott, and that one great Scott, and that's Scott McClellan. But like this Scott and the other Scott gives all the Scotts a bad name, a bad rep. So don't listen to him. And also, the fact that I said before yesterday, like, it didn't need to beat these things. If it did, awesome, but it didn't need to. The fact that it was on par and up to the standard of big marketed, big box office, blockbusters is fantastic. Releases, essentially, the Snyder Cut, Zack Snyder's Justice League, was an HBO Max original. It didn't have any same-day premieres. They're not going to talk to about it like it's a hybrid release. It's a HBO Max original. It's like we're trying to compare, in a way, Wonder Woman, Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat to Raised by Wolves. You know, it doesn't have the same. It's oranges and apples. Plus, you know, Zack Snyder's Justice League, of course, it's a director's cut version of a movie that came out 3 years ago. So don't get triggered by this. For it to be even up to par, even the 4th down, I think that's amazing in itself. And And honestly, he's bringing up material, and we don't know who that WarnerMedia exec. That WarnerMedia exec could have just said, "Yeah, I mean, the three biggest movies are hybrid movies. Wonder Woman 1984, Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat was our biggest movies." Yeah, I mean that could be definitely true, but Zack Snyder's Justice League did as good as well, but it's not a same day release. It's not, actually even promoted by Warner Brothers at all. So let's not get triggered over this. It's fine. It's fine. Of course, this person's putting his own opinionated spin on it, in which he already is negative towards Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I wouldn't worry about this article too much. But that's it. That's all I have. Let's get into the members' comments and questions now. Hopefully it loads up in a second here. But like I said, don't worry about all that. Everything's going to be fine. These things happen all the time. There's always going to be some type of negativity around Zack Snyder's Justice League, negativity over release of Snyder Cut. I haven't lost hope in any way right now, because honestly, with all this Warner Brothers same day premiere, even Christopher Nolan saw this coming, right? He didn't want this to happen. He wanted theaters to be theater movies, right? He didn't want it to be messed with and not messed with, but like same day to HBO Max. He wanted to save theaters, and a lot of this, right? A lot of this now, to my understanding, is that HBO Max fully brought Zack Snyder's Justice League on board because they needed content for their service. Like I've been saying before, they need content for their service. So they brought in Zack Snyder's Justice League. But with the same day premiere, they all of a sudden said, oh, we all of a sudden have content every month. But like I said, what happens next year when they go back to having it more in theaters? The theaters are back open. It's back in theaters, back on screens. That everybody is we had that little commercial with Matthew McConaughey and says, we're back on screen, back into the silver screen right now, right? So what happens then? Well, to me, it just means that there is more likely that HBO Max is going to need more content on their service. They cannot just rely. They can't just rely on these same day premieres anymore. They cannot rely on it. And so the more, as the time goes by, and I'm thinking more like next year, we're going to start seeing more content, they're going to be more hungry for more content. And it's a possibility. I know this is to be fair, it's a possibility nonetheless that they be looking at, hey, we need more bigger DC content on our service. And so let's look back into that Snyderverse once again. All right. So that's my 2 cents on that matter. But here we go. Now it's working. The comments. Hope you don't die from a second shot. That's not a good if your arm is sore. I think it shouldn't be that way. Thanks for the heads up because I'm not taking a damn shot. Well, that's up to you. But it is normal actually to have it sore. And it's not anymore. So I'm still alive. Warner Brothers is ruining whatever reputation their director-driven studio tag brought, with reports saying established artists like Nolan and Affleck are already pissed, and talented actors like Depp and Fisher being sidelined unceremoniously is not doing them any good in the industry. It is. They need a cleanup. Well, the third time is a charm. First, he's back for the Snyder Cut, then he's back for the Flash. But how do we convince AT&T? Maybe we should hit 1 million tweets for Army of the Dead. Yeah, Chris, I've always wanted the movies to make the Black Canary Batman connection to the same person trading them. Of course, Ted Wildcat Grant. Always wanted to see Bruce training and then see a 8-year-old Dinah Lance hitting a punching bag in Wildcat's gym. Well, that sounds pretty awesome. Chris, I also really think the actual Restore the Snyderverse to happen, we have to reconfigure how we go about it. We have to appeal to AT&T and the money people, make it known with facts and figures, and of course with our ever-present demand of the product that continue in the Snyderverse means not having to reboot, not having to rehash character origins that have been beaten in ash, and not having to reintroduce new characters, actors, and new figures. If they feel the box office was too low for certain films, it's because the universe was building. Look at Marvel's films. Let's compare the box office for the first Avenger to Civil War. It wouldn't be fair. If AT&T allows the Snyderverse to continue, the cash you would harness from the films just getting to the good stuff would really shock AT&T, HBO Max, and especially Warner Brothers. It has always been Warner Brothers' problem. They pull the plug before giving the idea the chance to bloom and show audiences something they haven't seen before. I also agree with you from yesterday, Chris, paraphrasing here. Now that the Snyder Cut is out, the momentum that releases, I believe, will propel us forward into restore the Snyderverse. Faith, Alfred. Glad to hear the filmmaker's explanation for no Johnny Cage and no Kitana. Here's to a tournament-based sequel with him. Yeah, there is definitely that. Sounds like it's happening too. So if RPK is on to something about Batfleck coming back after the Flash film, one, it kind of refutes the notion that Batfleck agreed to be in the Flash film because it's a good conclusion. Two, Ben is confident that his Batfleck stuff will be on his terms. And yes, Zack's. And RPK mentioning that, by the way, I just remind you, he doesn't say specifically where and when and how he may return. And it may not be a theatrical thing, right? It may be an HBO Max thing. Who knows? As one of those who loves John Schnepp's documentary on the Nick Cage Soups films, I would have loved to see Tim Burton's Soups in action. And the fact that Nick Cage voiced Soups in that Teen Titans Go to Hollywood film, I'd say he's certainly open to showing up. Oh yeah, I think he wants to get a crack at that. I don't know. Congratulations, your second vaccine shot. Hope everything is well with you. Stay safe. Thank you very much. Restore Snyderverse. I like the tripod, but it looks interesting. The lady in the beginning looks cute, but it was interesting. Oh, that's for the armored. Yeah, it's interesting to see that. Shout out to Sam Parker for sending me that and to react to that. So I thought it was a really cool. I've never seen that before ever, and it's great to see that Koreans are doing that kind of stuff too. Geek Haven, congrats on getting fully vaccinated. I get my second dose a week from Saturday. I really hope the announcement is Hellboy 3 in regards to Batfleck staying after The Flash. Could it be possible to still get that Batfleck Deathstroke movie? Cross some fingers. I would prefer it to be the Snyderverse, but if they do the Hamadaverse, I'll take what I can get. Not sure if you're aware, but Keaton was going to cameo as Batman at the funeral in Superman Lives. By the way, happy belated anniversary. Well, thank you. Yes, Keaton was going to cameo in Superman Lives as well, so that's really cool. It's not Hellboy 3, though it is a new Trolls. It's a new Troll Hunters. It's a new Troll Hunters movie, I think, or series coming up on Netflix. You can treat Batman on the Gordon Show like a specter. Keep him in a shadow, just gargoyle posing and seeing the aftermath of his crime fighting and such. Maybe I would love to see Cage as like the Kingdom Come Soups or so something unique with it. Have fun with it. Have fun with it indeed. I love it. Just one note. Can you make it any longer? Now that you mention it, Zack. I know, right? Oh, could you show us that interaction between Lois and Diana? Gotta say, putting the machines around the dinosaurs is odd. Are they controlling the dinosaur's mind or making them move against their will? I have no idea. And I don't know if I'll ever get to watch it, depending if it actually shows up on those services, Kiss Asian or something, then I can watch it, but cancel HBO Max if you want to. I mean, if you don't have any faith in HBO Max, I'm not going to stop you. Congrats on getting fully vaccinated. I get my second. This is interesting. So you commented again, but I already spoke about that Geek Haven, but that's cool. That's right. All right, well that is it. Yeah, short show today. So hopefully there's some more exciting things happening tomorrow. We're supposedly still supposed to get some new Batman shots or something like that. Well, we'll have to wait and see about that. But what else is happening tomorrow? Hopefully Inside HBO Max doesn't start to accidentally retweet things once again and getting all riled up, us all riled up. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of entertainment news and content, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time.